Welcome back, everyone, to another Motorcycles and Murder. I'm your humble narrator, Bleak. Today, I have a story of a woman so scorned she kills her husband because he stopped eating that kitty like he used to. This is a bizarre one, but let's get into it, shall we? This is the story of the murder of Reginald Smith, husband to Tasha Smith, in the quiet suburbs of Maryland. Our story unfolds, and it seems to have been ripped from the pages of a twisted fiction novel. But this is no story. It's raw, it's real, and it is a tragic testimony to how love, or the lack thereof, can turn dark. This is the story of Tasha Smith, a 38-year-old woman whose life spiraled into chaos because of one of the simplest acts of betrayal. You see, Tasha, she had a routine. Every night, her husband Reginald would engage in an intimate act. An act that was more than just foreplay to her. It was a ritual, a sign of love and affection that she had come to depend on. Quoting, "Before we got married, I used to get my vagina ate every night." But you see, Reginald's love, on the other hand, was fleeting. He had found love in a new woman's arms, Beverly Andrews. And in doing so, he reignited the rituals that Tasha missed so dearly. For Tasha, this was the ultimate betrayal. It wasn't just the act itself, but what it represented. Love, respect, and intimacy, all of which she felt had been snatched away from her and given to another woman. One fateful day, consumed by a whirlwind of emotions, Tasha grabbed a gun and drove to Beverly's apartment. Her mind raced. It was a storm of pain and anguish and rage. The betrayal gnawed at her, and she had reached the apartment she was beyond reasoning with. And once inside, the confrontation quickly escalated. Tasha shot. She shot Reginald in the chest, a decision driven by a cocktail of passion, pain, and desperation. And the police, well, they arrived swiftly, but it was too late for Reginald. He was rushed to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The new girlfriend, Beverly Andrews, recounted a chaotic scene. "I'm not saying I agree with what she did, but I understand why she flipped out. I just think she took it way too far. She didn't have to do that." The community was left in shock. How could something as intimate as oral sex lead to such a devastating act of violence? For Tasha, it was clear. The act was more than just something trivial. The act was a symbol of love and of connection, and in its absence was a betrayal she could not bear. Reports revealed the intricate details. Tasha, driven by rumors of her husband's newfound intimacy with Beverly, and she could no longer contain her fury. The night she drove there to confront Reginald, she was just so maddeningly overwhelmed by the image of him sharing the same intimacy with another woman. As Tasha's trial date had loomed, she had maintained her innocence, insisting that her actions were a result of Reginald's betrayal. Assistant Public Defender Arthur Knight has stated she wishes to profess her innocence and go to trial on this matter. The courtroom is expected to be a battleground of emotions, with the prosecution painting Tasha as a jealous, scorned woman who resorted to violence, while the defense will likely argue that her actions were those of a woman driven to the edge by emotional neglect and betrayal. In the end, this story is a somber reminder of the complexities of human relationships and how deeply intimacy can intertwine with our sense of self-worth and emotional well-being. It's a bizarre and tragic tale that could only unfold in the shadows of love gone awry, leaving us to ponder the thin line between passion and madness. This episode of Motorcycles and Murder has been brought to you by Lousy Productions and narrated by me, Bleak Rides. If you like this kind of content, please hit that like button for me. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things motorcycles and murder, subscribe and hit that bell so you can stay up to date. It doesn't cost anything, and it means the world to me. Join the ride, won't you? And together, we'll learn the tragic details of these stories of murder and the macabre. We'll learn about all the best motorcycle gear, travel to interesting places, and I'll show you everything along the way. Bleak Rides, saying, just ride.